we're going to go over some of the legal definitions for these letters and go over making them correctly on your penmanship paper. I'm going to apologize up front. It's a little difficult to work on the iPad here, but I want you to follow the instructions that I tell you, and we'll get this down so that we make beautiful letters so that are very legible to anyone who's reading them. So we're going to start with A, starting at regular 2 in the clock. Curve up to the dotted line. Curve down and around to regular 10. Curve down and around to regular 8. Touching the baseline. Curve up to regular 4. Curve back up to regular 2. Go back to regular 3 without lifting my pencil. Pull a straight line down to the baseline and say A. The next one is S. Starting at regular 2 on the clock. Curve up to the dotted line. I apologize, I don't know why it's doing that. Curve up to the dotted line. Curve down and around to regular 10. Curve down and around to regular 8. Touching the baseline, curve up to regular 4. Stop, lift my pencil and say S. I'm going to do that again. Regular 2 on the clock. Curving up to the dotted line, curving down to the regular 10, down to regular 8. Touching the baseline, curve up to regular 4. Stop, lift my pencil and say S. As you can see, we can do that a little better. The next one we have is D. Starting at regular 2 in the clock. Curve up to the dotted line. Curve up to the dotted line. Curve down and around to regular 10. Down and around to the baseline. Curve up to regular 4. Curve up to regular 2. Pull a straight line past regular 2 up to just below the top line without lifting my pencil. Come back down and pull a straight line down to the baseline, and then we have D. The next one, F. Starting at just below the top line, starting at high 2. Curve up to just below the top line. Okay, this is driving me crazy. Curve up to just below the top line. Curve down to high 10. Pull a straight line down to the baseline. Stop, lift my pencil. Just above the dotted line, make a cross in the direction in which we read and write. Stop and lift my pencil and say F. We'll get this through here. All right. J. Starting at regular 2 on the clock. Curve up to the dotted line. Curve down and around to regular 10. Curve down and around to the baseline. Touching the baseline, curve up to regular 4. Curve back up to regular 2. Go back to regular 3. Without lifting my pencil, pull a straight line down to just low 4. Without touching the dotted line below, round to low 8. Stop, lift my pencil and say J. Let's do that one again. I'm just going to draw it here. And back to regular 3, down and around. I'm reading and writing at the same time. So, going to add a layer. All right. The next one we have is A, O, U. This is kind of the basic A, O, U. We're going to start at regular 2 on the clock. Curving up to the dotted line. Curve down and around to regular 10. Down and around to regular 8. Touching the baseline. Curve up to regular 4. Back to regular 2. Stop, lift my pencil and say A, O, U. And the width of a space is an A, O, U. So this one is a good one to practice. And as you can see, it's difficult to do on the iPad. I'm going to get this. I'm going to do a couple here. There we go. All right. And now we're going to go to Z. Ooh, tricky. Starting at regular 2 on the clock. Curve up to the dotted line, curve down and around to regular 10. Slide across to regular 4, making my letter sit on the baseline, curve up, round from regular 4 to regular 8. And then we have z. So let me do that one more time. And slow is fast when you're doing penmanship. It's a little bit better. Next one, qua. Qua. Starting at regular 2 in the clock, curve up to the dotted line. Curve down and around to regular 10. Curve down and around to regular 8, touching the baseline. Curve up to regular 2. Curve back, go back to regular 3. Without lifting my pencil, pull a straight line out to just above the dotted line below, and pull a straight flag slant to the right. Stop and lift my pencil. Begin the next letter. Starting at the dotted line, pull a straight line down to regular 8. Curve down and around, touching the baseline, up to regular 4, up to the dotted line, pull a straight line down to the baseline, stop, lift my pencil, and say qua. And qua, being a multiple letter phonogram, is underlined, so keep that in mind when you're doing the letter. The next one is B. B, as in baby. Starting at just below the top line, pull a straight line down to the baseline. Without lifting my pencil, go back up the same line and touching the dotted line. Okay, this is crazy. We're going to start this over. Pull a starting at just below the top line. Pull a straight line down to the baseline, going back up to regular 10, curve up and around to the dotted line, down around to regular 2, down around to regular 4, touching the baseline, curve up to regular 8, and say B. I apologize for that. I don't know why we keep having issues with that. And our final one in this lesson is at E. We're going to start at regular 9 on the clock, pull a straight line across to regular 3, curve up to regular 2, curving up to the dotted line, down and around to regular 10, down and around to regular 8, touching the baseline, curve up to regular 4, and say at E. And for now, we're going to do, I'll do another at E here to illustrate. And there you go. And we'll come back and finish this up.